The Nintendo Switch might actually be the greatest Zelda console ever made. Between remakes, ports, brand new adventures, and spin offs, we've gotten almost every flavor of Zelda imaginable. But not every Zelda game deserves the same praise. And today, I'm ranking every Zelda game released on the Switch 1 and 2 from D tier all the way to S, the top tier. And yes, I already know one of these placements is going to make half of you very angry. So let's go ahead and start with the easy ones. Alright, up first we have Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. This one hurts because I wanted to love this game. It rides entirely on Tears of the Kingdom's popularity, but instead of feeling like a meaningful expansion to that game, it feels like another Warriors game wearing Zelda clothes. If you're a Musou fan, you'll probably enjoy this game, but if you're here because you wanted another Zelda adventure, this just really isn't it. The repetitive combat, predictable objectives, and lack of meaningful exploration make this game one of the easiest placements on the tier list for me. And that's going to be D tier. Alright, from here on out, things get a little bit harder. Next, we have Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. This is honestly the better of the two Warriors games that came out on the Switch. Unlike Age of Imprisonment, this one actually feels connected to Breath of the Wild. The roster was fun, the story had some genuinely emotional moments, which was great. And seeing these characters interact together in new light was fantastic. But again, it's a Musou game first and a Zelda game second, so take from that what you will. Honestly, I can't give this game any higher than a C tier. Next up, we have Cadence of Hyrule. And Cadence of Hyrule is incredibly charming. The soundtrack is absolutely phenomenal in this game. The crossover somehow works. I don't know how they pulled it off, but it does. Right. And the rhythm-based gameplay, it's not going to appeal to everybody, but I think it's pretty cool. And it's definitely one of the most unique Zelda experiences ever made, by far. But I gotta say, it's not one that I revisit very often. And with all these things considered, I'm gonna go ahead and put Cadence of Hyrule also in the C tier. Okay, now things get really hard, because next up we have Link's Awakening. And this remake is absolutely gorgeous. I think Nintendo kind of nailed the toy box art style. The music for this game is absolutely incredible. I love every theme in this game. One of my favorites is the cave theme, but there's so many other great ones. The dungeon design is great, still holds up to this day after decades, in my opinion. And so why isn't this game higher? Honestly, because underneath it all, it's still the same Game Boy game that it was. And there's nothing wrong with that at its core, but ultimately it's a shorter adventure in a lot smaller world. It had a few performance hiccups, but I don't think they were anything too bad. But ultimately, it is just the same core game of Link's Awakening. I know some people are huge Link's Awakening fans, and I can understand why from a story perspective. But for me, this game is going to get the B tier. Okay, now moving on, we have the controversial one, right? That's Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, I already know. You're going to say, how is Tears of the Kingdom? And spoiler alert, I'm putting it in the B tier. You're going to say, how is Tears of the Kingdom only B tier? And here's why. Here are some of my reasons, right? It's probably one of the most impressive games Nintendo has ever built. I think Alter Hand as a concept is revolutionary. It's probably the most revolutionary thing about this game. Like the physics themselves are just unbelievable. But I think it kind of loses something magical that Breath of the Wild had. Exploration doesn't really feel driven just by mystery alone anymore. It's kind of everything just feels so familiar. Right, you're rediscovering Hyrule instead of visiting it for the first time, and I don't really like that aspect of it. The Sky Islands were definitely not what I hoped they would be. The depths were cool at first, right? They start off amazing, but eventually they become very, very repetitive. And I think it's an incredible sandbox. I just don't think it's the better Zelda game, and it's definitely not the best of the two Wild Era games. I know, right? Let me know what you think about this in the comment section, honestly. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give Tears of the Kingdom a B tier. All right, now we're getting into the really good titles, right? Next up, we have Echoes of Wisdom. And, right, this game surprised me more than any other Zelda game has in recent years. Finally letting Zelda become the main character wasn't just a gimmick, it really felt earned. I think the ecosystem encourages creativity in a lot of ways that I wasn't really expecting. And with this game, I think it definitely captures Zelda, the core essence of Zelda with the dungeons and the plot progression, while still feeling modern. Like it's a crossover between A Link to the Past, A Link Between Worlds, and Breath of the Wild, right? You could do so many things. You could pretty much go anywhere in this terrain. And there's so many things you could do with the, the echoes traverse the world. It's just absolutely amazing. And the dungeons are Actually, going back and replaying it right now, the dungeons are fantastic, right? Some that stand out for me are the Elden Volcano one, the Garuda one, where you go outside and inside the temple, and then also the ice one was pretty cool. But anyways, I think this is one of Nintendo's freshest ideas they've had in a long time. And because of that, I'm going to give Echoes of Wisdom the A tier spot. All right, next up on this list, we have another masterpiece, and that's Skyward Sword HD. I think this game has aged incredibly well, and the HD version fixes so many complaints. The controls in this game are excellent, so much better than the motion controls. The story is still one of the strongest in the series by far, and let's talk about the dungeons, right? The dungeons are some of the best Nintendo has ever designed, hands down. And yes, I'm talking about the Ancient Cistern. I mean, yeah, it does have some pacing issues, and yeah, Fee or Fi or whatever she's called still talks a little bit too much. But ultimately, I think Skyward Sword should get the appreciation it deserves. When this game first came out on the Wii, I actually didn't really care for it that much, to be honest. It was one of my least favorite Zelda games. But it's grown on me over the years, and I think the Switch version is the definitive way to play this game. So with all that said about Skyward Sword, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the A tier, just above Echoes of Wisdom. Next up, we have none other than Breath of the Wild. I don't think this should really surprise anybody. Breath of the Wild just didn't redefine Zelda. It redefined open world games in general, right? Every mountain in the distance begged to be climbed. Every strange structure made you wonder what was there originally, and every direction kind of felt like an adventure on its own. I've never experienced any other game that captured pure curiosity like the original Breath of the Wild. And I probably put hundreds, maybe even 1,000 hours into this game. But I still remember the feeling of walking onto the Great Plateau for the first time, and there's nothing else really like it. And it's something that Tears of the Kingdom could never recreate, right? They tried to do a similar thing on the Great Sky Island, but it just didn't have the same effect as exploring that version of Hyrule for the first time. And that's why I'm going to go ahead and put Breath of the Wild in the one and only S tier, or the top tier. Alright guys, this has been my ranking of the Switch 1 and 2 Zelda games. I'm sure your ranking looks completely different, so here's my question to you. Where would you put Tears of the Kingdom? Would you put it all the way up in S tier? Would you put it in A tier? Or do you agree with me that it's in B tier? Or would you even put it below that? And do you agree that Breath of the Wild is probably still the superior experience? Drop your entire Nintendo Switch 1 and 2 Zelda tier list in the comments below. And if enough people disagree, maybe I'll make a community voted version next up. Anyways, guys, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs by the end of the summer. So if you enjoy these Zelda videos and you haven't, please do consider subscribing. It helps me out so much. I'm so close. I'm right on the cusp of getting monetized on YouTube, and it would be awesome to have all my hard work pay off someday. So anyways, guys, if you like these videos, yeah, please do consider subscribing, drop a like, and share. It helps me get recognized by the algorithm. I've got a lot more Zelda videos coming, by the way. Not only that, but I have general Nintendo discussion videos on the way as well. We've got a lot more Ocarina of Time hype if you subscribe for that. Don't worry, that's always going to be here on this channel. Up until Ocarina of Time releases, the Summer of Ocarina will continue. So anyways, I appreciate all your support, guys. Yeah, please let me know what you think of this video, and please let me know your personal ranking on the Nintendo Switch Zelda games. I'd love to hear it. I love just chatting with you guys and, you know, getting in the comments and arguing and discussing and talking about Zelda. But yeah, I'm really curious to know what you guys think. Also, if you enjoyed this tier list, it's available up on Tier Maker. It's public now. So I'll post the link in the description if you guys want to play around with it and make your own Zelda Switch 1 and 2 tiers. You can go ahead and do that as well. Anyways, guys, this has been Matt from Top Tier. I'm out. Bye.